It's 𝐂𝐚𝐿, and today I'm showing you this 3D Lotus design. That's why I'm dressing all zen-like just for you. And I'm using everything from my shop at 𝐂𝐚𝐿.shop. Now, let's get ready. So there is 4 different steps for this design here. First is the bronze chrome right here. Second is a colorful background. Third is the textures. And fourth and last is the lotus. And the lotus is the star for this design, of course. So first, let's start out with Teflon mat. And I'm gonna apply on the entire nails. Cure it for 60 seconds. Then I am gonna use jet black and a 10mm liners. Now I am going to draw a color block up here. And jet black chrome bond, you can rub chrome right on it. If you have a bottle that you call jet black, then you cannot rub chrome on it. But the new jet black bottle is a chrome bond. So it is a no wipe. And I actually gonna switch to Emboss Brush when I color because it's faster. But the new jet black is no wipe. So you can apply chrome directly on it and it cures so well. It cures completely solid. It's still better to apply it thin, but you don't have to try to apply it really thin. It's cured just as well. Completely smooth and cell level. Go ahead and cure it for 60 seconds. And now I am taking out my chrome. This is bronze chrome. I'm gonna apply right on to the design. Rub it on. And this chrome, the bronze chrome, is warmer than the gold. Sometimes I love to take bronze and give it some action. Okay, that's it all, and I am taking our clean shadow applicator and I'm gonna rub it back just to eliminate excess dust. Then, what I like to do is I'm gonna take out clear texture gels and 10mm liners, and I am going to apply, draw a little line right onto the chrome just to give it some textures. Now, after that, I'm gonna go ahead and cure this 60 seconds. Now, you can just leave it like that after you cure, or you can rub chrome on. It's very similar. See, this is pretty, just like this. But if you want to rub chrome on, it still looks similar, but it's just more solid. Go ahead and dust it. And clean with a shadow applicator, a clean shadow applicators. Now you can just leave it like this and top coat later, or you can top coat now. It doesn't matter. But what we know is that pigment is not going to stick on here because this is like a no wipe surface. And I'm gonna just leave it and put pigment on, and then I top coat everything later. Next, I am gonna take out pigment base and an emboss brush to apply. I will go ahead and trace the outline of this carefully. This too. There you go. And then the reason why you emboss brush, because I can just apply over the whole nails. And some beginner, not all, but some beginner will ask me, well, if you're gonna cover it with pigment base, why apply matte? Well, the reason is if I don't apply matte first, Teflon matte, not just normal matte, but Teflon matte, then when I chrome this, it's gonna stuck on the entire nail. Teflon matte is something that I use to isolate chrome because it doesn't stick to chrome. Okay, now I have pigment base, cure it for 60 seconds. Now I take out my paper towels, and you need something to knock up excess dust. This is my pigment brush that I'm using, and when I pick up pigment, I knock off excess dust so it don't go everywhere onto the nails, and I clean up any excess pigment that are on the brush. And for the colors, I am gonna use this palette. It's called Rainbow Press, and the color are very pastel-y looking, very springy. So I am gonna use this color first, and then this color, and then I'm gonna end with this bright color right here. It's between yellow and lambs. Now it's already been done. It's already been cured 60 seconds. Now I am going to first pick up this magenta colors and in circular motion. And if you want, you can rub it out on the paper towel. You don't have to with pressed pigment. But with loose pigment, I always distribute it on a paper towel. And the main reason to rubbing it on like this, because when you first pick it up, especially with loose pigment, it's not completely rubbed onto your brush. So when you do this, all of it will come off. So it's better to do this, because that's kind of like embed the color into the brush. Just knock it up lightly, and then I'm gonna start up here and apply my magenta right on. I'm gonna go around this, and I'm gonna go down to the bottom too. Okay, so this is a distribution of color. Now, when it comes to blending, you don't want to pick up too much colors. You probably want to use what you already have here. Now, if you have a lot of color, you might want to rub it on a paper towel just to lighten up the color. Then you're ready to blend. Make sure that you don't have any excess dust. If you do, you see it shooting out on the surface. So that is where you knock it off, just to make sure that nothing shoot on the surface. Make it messy. Okay, blend it out. If you don't do it right, the blending will be challenging for you. It will be messy for you. But if you blend it right, you will fall in love with this process. I love pigment, especially when it comes to like blending colors. Okay, then what you do is you rub up excess pigment and pick out another color. This is one of my favorite, by the way. It's like aqua. Okay, first distribute the colors. I'm starting from the inside of the magenta. So the blue, it will mix with the magenta and it become like purples. And I don't know if you can see it, but my motion are like a circular motion to apply. I'm doing the same thing down here. Just like this. And if you don't know how to flip your client hand around, because a lot of beginner doesn't know, but look at my hand. So let's say the nail tech is sitting right here and the client is like this, right? So if you want to work in the opposite direction, you just flip the hand over like this. See that? So now the hand is opposite from here to here. Just do that with your client. You have to know how to do that for especially filing. You ever file at the client ankle? It's so amazing. It makes the nail set so straight and in shape. But you have to know how to turn your client hand around. A lot of newbie doesn't know that because they don't really teach that in school. It's something you gain through experience. Okay, now I'm blending. You just don't want a lot of color when you blend. Then the inside, you can just leave it like this, but I decide to take this color and just lightly color it in. So it's brighten it up. Isn't that cool? So I'm done with all these. Put all this away. Now, for beginners, I suggest to take our shaded top coat and top coat everything. Sometimes I skip this part because what you do next is take texture gel, apply on this colorful part, and carve out different textures. But on top raw pigment, you cannot make mistake. So if you think you're gonna make mistake, just top coat everything just to seal it. I'm gonna cure that for 60 seconds. Now I'm taking out my texture gel. This is more desert. Okay. And if you don't know texture gel, this is a gel where you can apply and carve different texture on. So gel, you cannot carve it because it's liquid. But this gel is allow you to carve and apply thick. Because you cannot really apply thick with any gel because it will not cure properly. But this gel is made for you to apply thicker. Now, not thick like builder gel, but thicker than a flat surface. So I apply some more desert on. Now, I'm gonna take out Emboss Brush. Some people like to use a liner brush. Some people like to use Emboss Brush. I use both. Just sometimes I feel like using a strong brush and sometimes I feel like using a liner brush. But you just carve and you need a palette. Don't use paper because paper have lint. You don't want any lint, especially to mess with like wet gel like this. I like to use a palette because a palette doesn't have lint and I can just smudge my excess gel on here. Okay, this doesn't have enough gel. When it's not bulky like this, but it's like semi-flat, you want to apply more on just for the look of it. If it's flat, you're doing nothing wrong, but the purpose of this is to make it look like a unicorn. So you need to have a decent amount. Okay, just brush over it lightly. What I did wrong is that when I brush, I apply a little bit of pressure so it's flatten it. So just glide on top of the surface like this. Then when you carve it, it'll be bulky. And then I just carve over the surface like this. And remember to clean your brush after every stroke. Now, you notice that I don't switch my client hand around. I don't go like this to this, like this to this, like this. I don't apply a stroke and then I don't flip the hand around so I can apply, I can carve this stroke this way. I don't do that because there's so many different strokes. So what I do is I carve and then see this angle make my hand a little awkward. So I can tilt the hand like this, the finger like this, to what is like not vertical but horizontal. Like this. The hand like this, and you can just turn the hand like that to make it horizontal. And the reason why I move the hand around is just to make the angle easier for me, more convenience. Just like that. Because if I don't move the hand, it'd be so difficult. See, look, I have to like do some acrobat trick. And see, and if I go from here, I can do that, but I prefer to go from the middle. See, I can do this, but that will just force a lot of gel toward this direction. Do you see right here? And I don't like that. So I prefer it to be balanced. So I move from the middle to the right, and then I move from the middle to the left. But you need to do some adjustment on your client hand angle to be comfortable. You don't want to struggle through this. This come from a lot of year doing nail for a client, and I just realized that you can work hard, but you rather work smarter by just moving the hand, so your angle will be comfortable. Okay, and then after you're done, don't just stick it on the machine. Look at this. Look at the shape. You need to finesse this shape. I'm taking a spatula and just run across. See? Now it's beautiful. Now you here. There is method to my madness. I like everything to be easy. We're done with this? Okay. Now, I am gonna take out sanded top coat, but this time, I'm taking out this ombre pattern sponge. Pick up a sponge. Now, you don't want to do this. You don't want to paint over this beautiful texture. It's not a flat design. It's a texture design. So you put on top coat out on the palette and you sponge it. Because the sponge is bouncy, so it's going to reach down to the bottom and it's going to make sure top coat is everywhere. On the surface, on top and in the bottom, in all these grooves right here. But one thing that it's not going to do is flood your design. See, top coat will stick on everywhere. And making this super shiny, you allowed it to rest for about 3 seconds before you put in the machine. And it's super shiny. But guess what? It doesn't flood your nails. Again, it's method to my madness. It's all part of making Tino fabulousness. Okay, I'm taking out index papers. And it's light pink clay. A little aggressive there. Okay, so I am gonna take one piece out. Let's see the flowers. So you just have to judge, is this piece enough for this flower? I think so. If it's not, then you can add more. So I am rolling it out into a noodle. And the reason why I do that, because when I first started, what I do is that I pluck out each bead and I roll it. And it make it kind of inconsistent. So what I do now is that I roll the noodle out first. And then I cut it like a vegetable. Rolling it out. Ooh, that's a lot. And it don't have to be even. Then let's cut this. And we're gonna cut it like a vegetable. Okay, I'm cutting it out. I'm taking my ring finger. Okay, and I can roll it right now, or I can roll it after. It doesn't matter. So I'm gonna speed this up. You see the reason why I start out with a noodle and then I chop it up like a vegetable, because that will help all the size of my bead to be the same or similar. Now, I done cutting it out. As I say, you can roll it in between, or you can just cut them all and then you can roll it at once. So right now, I'm gonna take my finger. You see these bit right here? I am just gonna go in circular motion and then it become a circle. Okay, and if you want it to become a teardrop, which in this flower is a lotus, so you need a teardrop shape instead of a circle shape. So what I do is I tilted my hand about 45-degree angle, and then I rolled it back and forth. So now one end is really pointy, and then one end is blunt. I will do it one more time. Roll it into a circle first, and then tilt your hand 45-degree, and then you roll it back and forth, and then it will become a teardrop. So let's speed this up. And the reason why I first rolled it into a circle, because I want everything to be even. So when you make a teardrop, the teardrop will be even. If not, it's gonna be crooked, but that's not a big deal. Okay, now I'm gonna take out another piece of index paper. You see the reason why I use index paper? Because when I roll, it don't leave gel residue behind. So it doesn't make your surface sticky. On plastic, if you were to roll it on like plastic, like smooth plastic, then it's gonna leave some gel residue behind. And then over time, like after about 4 or 5 minutes, it's make the surface sticky and challenging to work on. So index paper are very good when it's non-stick. It's make everything non-stick. I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna press it. There you go. And then I taken this and I am gonna apply on top of a stamping pad. And the reason is because it's bouncy. So when I pick up with a brush, see, I'm using my oval brush, and when I pick it up, just because the surface is bouncy, it's so easy to go down here and then just lift it right up. Hold on, it's flipping on me. Oh, I have a hair right here. I need to take out conditioning cleanser that I use to moisten it up. There. Now I can just pick it up. See how easy it is? Remember all the steps that I just did. So what I'm going to do now is going to press all this and apply right onto the silicone stamping pad. And you're going to see some of the petal that I make are a little crooked. So it just depends really on how much I pay attention and how focused I am. Now, we are done here, and you can see here, I have some that are, this is questionable. I'm just gonna get rid of this. But I have some that are big and some that are small. Now the size, I do it deliberately because at some point you will need some small petal. So I remember 1, 2, 3, that's pretty small. And then the rest is big. This is not perfect, so I'm get rid of this. You want a good teardrop shape. Now, I'm gonna take one and put it on the surface just to show you that it can be difficult if you're missing this step. I'm gonna take, I don't wanna take a perfect one. Let's take this one. This one is a little rough. So I'm gonna take this. Now look, when I apply on the surface, it's gonna be on the surface, but it's gonna move here, move there. And the reason is because it's non-stick. And sometimes it sticks back to the brush. See that? So I advise you, before you do that, to take out sticky. Okay, I'm using a curling brush. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit of sticky right here, wherever your flower gonna be. It's gonna be right here. So just apply a little bit and cure for 60 seconds. Now I am taking out my oval brush and brush conditioning cleanser just to make sure everything is smooth, so there's no hair sticking out of it. Then I'm taking out sticky that already been cured. So I am taking a petals and apply, if I even remember where the sticky is, it's right here. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I am gonna take out clear silicone tool, okay, and I am just, I'm gonna use this head, pressing it a little bit just to anchor it. Okay, and then this petal, it can be whatever. It can either be flat to the surface or it can raise up a little bit just to be dramatic. And then you're gonna give 2 more petals. One on the left, one on the right. Just laying it on gently. See, the trick is the release. There you go. So you release it on the surface and you anchor it. And then you're gonna press it gently, gently press it. Because it's non-stick, remember. So you always start out lightly first. Now, you stop right there. And then you're gonna add some bead right here with clear silicone. So let's take this out. Just take our little bit. Clear silicone when dry flexible and super cell level. So it's kind of like a cross between clay dough and just 3D jelly. Now you're gonna put it right here. There. And then you're gonna put your bead on. So I'm using caviar beads right here. So I'm gonna take this out. I'm just gonna use oval brush just to apply. Okay. And if you want, you can take your tool and you can press it a little bit so it's completely adhere to the silicone surface. So you just press it in like this. There it is. Give it a little more. Okay, I think I have enough right here. Just like this. Now, you are going to just, let's just flash here a little bit. Now, I am going to continue with these petals. I'm gonna first take some conditioning cleanser, just make it nice and smooth. Now, beneath here, the reason why I have small petal, because it's very important for this step. If you have a big petal, then it's gonna cover the bead. So that's why I have small one. Put it in the middle, and then I would like 2 long one on the side. I'm actually gonna press with a brush too. Clay dough doesn't really stick to brush, but if you use a tool, like a solid tool, and you press it, sometimes if you don't know how to press it, it will stick to the tool unless you start out very lightly. See 2 long petal on both sides. Oh, it look really cool. Now, I need some conditioning cleanser. And I am going to sort of fold the back side like that. Just press the back side in and kind of fold it. Okay. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna have some more petal cascade down here. So let's get this and put it down here. Ooh, so pretty and easy. And another one down here. But you gotta know your stuff though. It's easy if you know your stuff. That's why I have this lesson is in free nail art class, but I have another playlist. It's called How to Use Product. Oh, so important, you guys. You gotta know how to use a product. If not, then it will be challenging if you don't understand the product completely. See on here, a petal right. I can do better with these petals. I can take time and focus on the pressing so it's nice and even. But when you're in a hurry with your client, then you can go a little faster. Up to you. How you handle it is up to you. Just put it right in the middle like that. You don't have to. You can arrange the flower however you like. And if you want, you can take a tool and sort of shove it in. Shove it in. I want to bend this petal a little bit. Oh, and again, if this is like a dramatic look, but to be a little more functional, you can fold it in so it doesn't stick out the nail. You can adjust it however you like. I need 2 more petals, but I only have 1 left, and I don't even like this one. So I'm gonna make 2 new ones really quick. That is why I roll it in the circle first. If you don't roll it in the circle first, then your tear shape can be uneven. That's why I roll it in a circle so everything can be even. And then I roll it into a teardrop so it's cohesive. Just to let you know that. You don't have to do it. You can have uneven flower petal. But to make it even, roll it in a circle nicely. See this surface, I'm addicted to this surface right here. It's so easy to pick up thin petal. I only do that when it's working with thin petal. If anything else are thickish, you can do it on top of your table. It doesn't matter. But these are specialty tool and surface to work with thin little flowers like this. See how pretty it is? And I want to curve it. Use the silicone tool. like that. Like that. Curve it up. Okay. Now I'm gonna cure it for 60 seconds. Oh, let me show you how to make it functionable. So you can use 3D jelly or embossed jelly. I will use a coloring brush unless it's challenging for me, then I use an emboss brush because it's longer. But with the coloring brush, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 3D jelly and let's start right here. Down here you see that's where all the hair gonna snag. I am putting 3D jelly underneath the flower petal to solidify it. But it's clear, so it's not gonna be one big solid block. If I use pink, then it's gonna look hideous. But if I use clear 3D jelly, then you're not gonna really see the 3D jelly, but you're gonna see the petal, and it's gonna look like it's levitating, but in fact, it's solid. Okay. Want me to zoom in? Look at that. See how solid it is? It's a solid piece. Oh, need some more in this. Let's cure this though. Just to cure it for a few seconds. And then I'm gonna get some more. See this petal when it's sticking out? I'm applying some 3D jelly right here. There. Now look. Look at that. It's a solid piece. Look at this though. You don't see anything. It looks like it's levitating. But it has support. Now let's do the same thing on top. When you cure it, only cure for a few seconds. Remember, you don't have to like full cure it. You know what? This begin to get tricky. I need a longer brush. Coloring brush is a little short. I use it a lot for top coat. Pin liquidy gel, but when it comes to the 3D jelly, let's use emboss brush. It's like the coloring brush, but it's longer. So you can shove inside these little petal easier. Yeah. Oh, I feel comfortable already. Yes. Yeah, don't stick to a brush that couldn't handle that task. Just switch. That's why I have many brushes. It's for you to be able to cope with each design. Because you don't want to struggle through it. I can use an emboss, a coloring brush and go all the way through with it, but it could be a little slower and a little uncomfortable. Versus the right brush, it's really enjoyable. Okay, everything is filled down here. Give a little more in the middle. Cure this. Hey, take it out. Let me zoom in. Look at that. It's packed with gels. Look at that. See this? Gel let me take a different tool. See, gel are underneath the petal, completely solid. There's no gap or anything. But look at that. You don't see anything at all. Now, these flower petal, am I gonna do it in the bottom? Absolutely not, because I can see the bottom. So I'm gonna put gel in these cracks and crevices right here. Let me zoom out. Don't wanna be too close. See all the crevices? Fill it up. Okay, clear that. And then this, I will go right here on the sides. Okay, here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The flash cure that I'm using it's have a bottom so it doesn't expose to whatever gel that I use underneath here on the table. Just a little extra information for you. All right, here it is. Oh, and I forgot about this flower right here, this petal. Also add some gel into it. Now you don't have to if you do some kind of fantasy look for social media. You don't have to do this, but this is for everyday women to wear, and they're rough on their nails. So if you make thin, delicate flower petal, go ahead. But this is how I make it work for them. Okay, here. Lotus 3D jelly, and the reason why I use 3D jelly because it's cell level, so it can sip into the surface. It's all nice and smooth, and it don't need any top coat. Put this away, and this is done. And that is how I make my 3D lotus with the texture background. Everything is from www.𝐂𝐚𝐭𝐚𝐥𝐨. And don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube at 𝐂𝐚𝐭𝐚𝐥𝐿. And until next time, bye-bye.